Welcome back to News at 9. I'm Leah Traxel with PLU in Focus. The Center for Community Engagement and Service has a new project that's getting students out of the Lutz home and into the surrounding community. Habitat for Humanity is building a housing development for low-income families less than 2 miles away from the PLU campus on the border of Parkland and Midland. When CCES Director Joel Zylstra heard about the project, he saw an opportunity for Lutz to get involved. Since the project got started, PLU students have given hundreds of volunteer hours to work on the site. Many different organizations have worked together to raise $10,000 to sponsor a home.
PLU became involved with this house about a year ago. We were approached by Joel Zylstra, the director for the Center for Community Engagement and Service. Joel, since he's taken over there a couple of years ago, has really made a commitment to get Lutz out in the Parkland community, to begin serving in the community that they live in.
So here locally in Pierce County, PLU and Thrivent came together with a Thrivent Builds project where there's a house that Thrivent put up $65,000, PLU raised $10,000, and together we're providing volunteers to the house to help do the labor. And Habitat, of course, is helping us do it correctly.
Our involvement with Habitat has had three components all along. One is that we wanted to connect student volunteers, as you mentioned. Another piece is that we wanted to have a fundraising effort that we would be taking an active role on as a university. And the third is to be able to connect courses on campus with the Habitat project.
Joel, since he's taken over there a couple of years ago, has really made a commitment to get Lutz out in the Parkland community, to begin serving in the community that they live in.
You begin to break down perceptions of what Parkland is. We're trying to get students to see Parkland in a different way and to appreciate it for what it is, rather than just simply rely on the stereotypes that are out there. As far as the volunteering goes, it wasn't a hard sell. Most students have heard of Habitat for Humanity. Students enjoy the opportunity to go out and build something and see their progress of their work.
PLU, the type of people that go to PLU and the type of students that are there tend to be people that care about others and want to do for others. So it doesn't surprise me that Lutz students and Lutz alumni are out contributing to the community and trying to not just give a handout, but a hand up.
Last time I checked, it was about 170 students had gone off campus and participated in the build. We've had teams, we've had offices, we've had clubs, we've had all kinds of different groups over the course of the fall go out there together. President Kreis and Patty have been out to the site. People from all over the university, faculty, staff, and students have been active in the project.
Last Saturday, dozens of volunteers gave up part of their weekend to work on one of the Habitat houses. PLU students and staff, high school students, and project sponsors donned work boots and gloves and got to work putting the finishing touches on a house.
Today, right now, we're laying the foundation. We have the grass because the dedication is going to be come next week, so we're just trying to get the final touches ready to give away the house. Really.
And we have a lot of stuff going on with the exterior, and also quite a bit going on inside too. So as you can see right here, we have some people who are raking out dirt. Creating the lawn effectively. They're rolling out the sod. And then on the inside, what we're doing is preparing to paint. So we already took a spray gun and painted down all of the walls, but now all of the trim goes around the baseboards, floors, windowsills, and the doors and all of that. We're preparing to isolate that by taping it off and making sure that none of the walls are going to get hit.
When we call it the woods, it was the woods a year ago. There was no street, no sewer, no sidewalk, none of that was here.
For those of us that were out there in September till now, there's a huge difference. There's a house that's up in place. So it's fun to be able to see your progress that way. And it's a green, it's a sustainably designed community. And so there's all kinds of features that make it unique that way.
I think it's really important to stay connected to the community because I feel like we can get so locked in the loop zone, you know, and it's just like, we're here, so why don't we dive in, why don't we learn about the community?
While the effects of this particular project are limited to the Parkland area, the Tacoma Pierce Habitat for Humanity branch is actually part of a much larger organization. Habitat for Humanity worldwide has projects going on in nearly 90 different countries, and the organization has housed more than 2 million people since 1976. They work with families that make between 30 and 50% of the area median income to allow people to own their own homes who wouldn't otherwise have that opportunity. Their mission is simple.
Our mission is, with God's grace and the cooperation of people from all walks of life, we partner with families in need to build and own simple, decent, affordable homes in safe communities.
I was under the impression that they simply gave out houses to people for free.
There's a common misconception that we just give away our homes. Our families have to contribute 500 hours of sweat equity, so each family puts in 500 hours helping to build their own home, their neighbors' homes, and the homes in their community.
But quickly I learned, one, that their model is very unique in that they're not giving out free houses. Families pay for the houses with affordable mortgage rates, with zero mortgage rate actually.
If a family of four making less than $30,000 a year goes to a bank and asks for a $160,000 mortgage to buy their own house, probably not a great chance that that's going to happen. So these neighborhoods are built by the families. So these families spend anywhere from 6 to 12 months working side by side, fostering that friendship, that sense of community.
There are going to be 30 homes there. They're estimating about 100 kids living in that community.
Most homeowners, you ask them and you say, when you bought your house, did you know your neighbors? Everybody says no.
This has never been about let's build a house and leave. It's always been about we have an opportunity to participate in something from the beginning, but there's going to be a sustained presence here over the long haul.
Future resident Melissa Brown said she is most looking forward to the sense of community that Habitat is trying to foster in the woods. She is a mother of 2 and hopes her daughters will be encouraged to do well in school. Melissa heard about Habitat for Humanity from a neighbor who saw the construction and told her to apply. Figuring she had nothing to lose, Melissa filled out the online application form and sent it in. Shortly afterwards, she got a surprise phone call at work. She had been accepted. Melissa shares what it is like to be working towards home ownership for the first time in her life.
It's amazing. I still have a hard time walking through here without my eyes going, you can hear me choking? I was at work when they told me, so I couldn't do what I wanted to do, which was jump up and down and scream. I did start bawling at my desk, and my boss is looking at me cross-eyed, but when I went and told her afterwards, she's like, okay, you deserve a blubber fest.
Each family has to volunteer 500 sweat hours, so we're meeting the family, we're working with them, and we're building onto relationships, like getting to know where they come from, and like really understanding the struggle and like how we can be a part of that, and just like learning about advocacy and education. So it's just a great opportunity to stay connected with the community.
All the money that I've put into renting now goes towards home ownership. A lot of the restrictions that I had to place on my kids due to renting, they aren't going to be there. If they want to paint a wall purple, they can have one wall. But I don't have to worry about repairing it back to what the landlord says in perfection. I can give them a little more leeway so they've got some ownership themselves. Because once they can build their own ownership, it's not we're borrowing somebody else's stuff. It's a sense of permanence.
The safest communities are communities where you know your neighbor. Instead of building just a house here and a house there throughout Pierce County, we decided that we wanted to forge a great sense of community within our organization and our partner families.
It was never about the house, it was always about the community. And
there's a lot of different programs that they kind of want to build in with tutoring for the kids, and I want to help build that community up, not only using the services but putting back in. So I guess my big excitement is building forward, bigger and higher and brighter.
To get involved or to find out more about PLU's involvement with Habitat for Humanity, email service@plu.edu. I'm Leah Traxo with PLU in Focus. Up next is Beyond the Brochure. We'll be sitting down with Ruth Lee Kovanen, the editor for The Matrix, PLU's social justice magazine.